welcome back to my channel. So like I said in my last video, I have absolutely garbage self-control, and when I saw that Colourpop released a My Little Pony palette, I didn't even like My Little Pony when I was a kid. Like, I had some toy My Little Ponies that were fun and I played with them, but then my cousin took them or something, and then I forgot about My Little Pony. Never watched it, never enjoyed it, just didn't care. But the idea of My Little Pony in my 20s as like a color scheme is exciting to me. So just like with the Kat Von D State and Center palette, which is something that I absolutely did not need, I went ahead and purchased the Colourpop My Little Pony palette, as well as one of their pressed highlighters and Ultra Satin lipsticks. Now, I have never used the Colourpop Ultra Satin lipsticks before. I have used the Ultra Mattes, and to be perfectly honest with you, the Ultra Mattes are way too drying for me, to the point that it almost like hurts. So I've held off from buying Colourpop lipsticks for a while just because they were so uncomfortable. But I've heard nothing but good things about these Ultra Satin, so I am excited to give this one a try and bring the look together with it. And so far with Colourpop palettes, like I have the like Please palette, the I Think I Love You palette, the She palette, and so far these palettes have not failed me. They are so good, and I have not tried this one out yet. This just came in the mail today, but I am almost convinced that I'm gonna love it. I've loved all of them up until now, so I've got a really good feeling about this one. The colors aren't these like vibrant colors I thought they'd be. When I think of My Little Pony, I think of the Pure Cosmetics palette, which is much more of those vibrant, bold colors. And this palette, the colors are a lot more like pastelish and muted, but they're so pretty. Like, they almost feel nostalgic, which I really, really like. So without further ado, I am going to do my brows off camera real quick, and we are going to get this look started. And now moving on to the eyes, I am taking my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer in L5, which is, like I said last time, way too light for me as a concealer, but I love it as an eye primer because it is so pigmented and it really helps cover the discoloration on my eyelids. I had LASIK done in March, and they say it takes like 6 months to a year for that to completely heal up. And it's the weirdest sensation ever. Sometimes if I hit my eye just the right way, I can totally feel that like scratching on it. I've never had that sensation before LASIK. Or I had PRK, not really LASIK, but it's like LASIK, but kind of different. But I never had that scratching sensation before I had that surgery done. I'm super happy I had it done. Going from not being able to see to being able to see was one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself, but it's still like the whole healing process is just so strange. And I'm just setting that concealer with some setting powder so everything blends nice on top. So for my first shade, I'm going in with this one right here called Applejack, and don't mind my nails. They're a disaster. All my brushes are dirty. And I'm just taking that on a Morphe Y15. Just kind of dragging that out just a little bit. Something to note is that this shade is a little bit powdery. I'm getting some kickback with it, but nothing too crazy. And so, my bad, this shade is Flutterby and this shade is Applejack. I used Flutterby first, and now I'm using Applejack. Man, Colourpop palettes do not disappoint me. I feel like if I wasn't so impressed with their other palettes, I wouldn't have jumped to buy this one like I did. Like, no joke, the second I got the email, I was like, I am going to own this. This will be mine. The other palettes have just been so nice that I was just all about it, you know? Now I'm kind of taking this high up into my inner corner. Kind of close to my brow, but not all the way up to my brow. These blend out so nicely. Something I like about Colourpop palettes too is how cohesive they are. I feel like I'm not struggling to find a certain kind of color scheme I can go with, and I really like that they threw in kind of the pop of color. I can really admire a super colorful palette, but sometimes it's nice to just have these that are like, they all work together. So when you travel, you're not trying to put together a palette for yourself, and you already have it in one place. And now to deepen that up even more, I'm going in with Sky Dancer, and I am just taking that on a Morphe M506 and really defining my outer V and working that in, not taking it all the way, but working that in to deepen this all up. And I'm just laying that down because I'm going to go in and blend it out in a second. You ever have those days where you're like, man, I'm having the week, and then you realize that it's only Monday? Because that is totally my day so far. And I'm just taking that Applejack shade and just blending that out a little bit to soften up that deeper color put down. I went back in one more time with Sky Dancer and just again laying that down and then blending it out. Again with Applejack. And I'm probably gonna go over this one more time with Flutterby. What was that called? Yes, Flutterby. I'm probably gonna go over one more time with Flutterby just to soften everything up. I kind of lied. I kind of want some of that Sky Dancer to peek up around my lid a little bit, so I'm gonna go back in and just deepen that up a hair. And going back in with Flutterby, I'm just gonna go over the edges really, really lightly, like I'm barely touching this. And just bringing some of that color back in there. And for my lid, I'm gonna start with this shade right here called Starshine, which is a really pretty kind of warm gold color. And in my history, the Colourpop shadows that are more metallic apply a little bit better wet. So I'm gonna take that on a damp Sonia Kashuk brush and just place that on the inner third of my lid. I might have gotten this brush a little too wet. Whoops. That shows up really, really nicely though. And now taking the shade Minty, I'm just putting that on the rest of my lid. Again, applying it damp. And blending it into that gold shade. I'm gonna go back in with that gold and just blend that into Minty a little bit. And now with the tiniest bit of Twilight, I'm going to take that on my outer V and just deepen that corner up. I've not swatched this, so I'm not hoping I'm depositing a ton of color at once. Okay, I'm not. Cool. I'm gonna lay a little bit more of that down so I can blend it out, because I kind of like that look a little bit. Okay, disclaimer, I just dropped my palette and thankfully none of them broke, but they all fell out and these two got switched. In case I say the names wrong because I forgot that I switched them. Anyway, I'm taking a little bit of Sky Dancer again and going over that Twilight shade just to make that dark color a little less harsh and dragging it out just a little bit. Let's make my eyes look a little bit bigger than they actually are. And one more time, because I'm never satisfied until I've gone too far and I can't go back. I'm just gonna place it a little bit right there. And then one more time, blend that out. And I'm not putting any extra product on the brush, I just wanna blend it into what's already there. Okay, so moving on to concealer, I'm taking my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer and just dotting that under my eyes as usual. Nothing too wild or crazy over here. Down my nose. And then I just realized I did my concealer before my foundation and I never do that. Just not me. It's been a week. It's only Monday, but it's already been a week. I'm gonna blend this in and just work around it, because why the hell not? I'm taking my Royal Langnickel complexion brush. I am just blending in my concealer. I am absolutely 100% winning today. Like, the kind of winning that I'm doing this afternoon is just out of this world. Something to be envied. I'm honestly, like, envious of myself. Not really, I'm driving, like, today has just been a fun time, so I'll be happy when tomorrow comes around. Tomorrow's a new day. It's gonna be good. I guess now that I have concealer on, I can go ahead and finish my lower lash line. I've already made it this far, so why not? I'm going to take... I can't keep anything in my hands today. It's a fun time. I'm going to take the eyeliner Fast Lane from Colourpop and I'm going to run that along my lower lash line and my waterline. Fast Lane's a really pretty teal color and I never get to use it, so I'm going to go ahead and play with this one today. I feel like I almost always go for my Maybelline gel liner. And as much as I love that, sometimes you gotta have a little color in your life. I am just going to run that on my waterline and on my lower lash line. I haven't used this liner in a while and I forgot how absolutely creamy and easy it is to use. Oh, and I just got a little right there, which is fantastic. I am just taking that and running a little bit on my lower lash line, and I'm going to use that teal color in the palette and blend that out with this. In like mini looks, I feel like this is gonna look a lot better once I put lashes on. I don't know what it is. Like my eye looks just don't look complete to me without a set of lashes. It just looks like bleh. I think it's my eye shape. I think it's my eye shape that makes me feel that way. And using that shade I used for the transition, I'm just running that on the outer third of that blue. And now for my brow bone, I'm going to take the shade Bluebell on a little fan brush and continue to knock everything over. And I'm just going to go right underneath this brow and blend that down into that peach shade. So my camera just died, which is a really cool time. But in the meantime, I decided to pop some glitter on that lower lash line. So I'm going to run some NYX glitter adhesive along my lower lash line. And then take some Shop by Lip Gloss Siren Fantasy glitter and put that where I laid down that adhesive. And I am popping the shade Firefly in my inner corner for some highlight. And real fast, I'm going to pop some lashes on, and then we're going to finish up the rest of this look. Alright, so moving on to the rest of my face. For foundation, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation in Y325. And I'm just going to buff that in with this complexion brush. And as always, I'm using Sombre and Shadow Play from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette to carve out my cheekbones. And since this is My Little Pony, I don't want anything to be too harsh. I just kind of want it nice and soft. And I've held off on using a setting powder because I want to lay down a cream highlight before I put down the actual highlight. And so for the cream portion of my highlight, I'm taking the Fenty Beauty Shimmer, what is this called? The Shimmer Skin Stick in Confetti, which is that really, really cool purple color. You can't really tell it's purple in the camera because the light kind of washes the color out, but it's purple. So I'm just taking some of that on my finger. I think my biggest issue with these skin sticks is that they're a little bit drier. They're not as like creamy as I thought they'd be, but that's all right. And I'm just taking that and patting it right where I'm gonna put my highlight down. And also just going back in for more product as I need it. I'm gonna put a little bit right up here on my temple and blend that out with my finger. And I'm taking some more of that and just putting it on the other side. I put that all over my forehead. Ugh. And now taking this highlighter from Colourpop from My Little Pony collection, which does this packaging not make you feel nostalgic? Like, this feels like my childhood. And I'm just taking this with this Anastasia A23 brush and laying that over where I put down that Fenty Beauty stick. It has a really, really beautiful, glowy purple color to it. And with my highlighters, I typically really like to go for the more second skin kind of finish ones. This one is powdery. I'm just gonna be honest, this one's powdery. As I dip my brush in, it is kind of like falling apart a little bit, but not too bad. But it is, so I just wanna put that out there. But over this skin stick, it looks really, really nice. Like the skin stick brings out the purple in it. I feel like if this was just by itself, it wouldn't glow as much, if that makes sense. I feel like using blush for this look would be a little too much with the purple and the pinks and the blue and everything going on, so we're just gonna skip blush for today. And I'm skipping powder because screw it, I don't want to use powder today. And to set everything, I'm going to be using this Pixie Beauty Fixing Mist with rose water and green tea. Oh, it just sprayed me in the face. I'm not going to be using this. Never mind. I'm not using that at all. It's like spraying. Oh, it's like spraying across the room. I'm wasting so much product. Nix that idea. And for my lips, I'm going to be using this Ultra Satin Liquid Lipstick from Colourpop in the shade Lock Diary. And this is also from the My Little Pony collection. So some final thoughts about this palette. Like Colourpop palettes, this did not fail me. I did like this palette. I will say that it is a little bit more powdery than the other palettes are, that I found your experience might be a little different. I don't know. The mattes were a little bit powdery, but they blended really nice. They weren't patchy. They, you know, like I expect from Colourpop pressed shadows, they were good. I think if this one's applied wet, then my opinion of this will change, but this is a little bit powdery, which kind of breaks my heart because I want to absolutely bathe in it. It is a really pretty white with bluish green reflect. I want to love it. I do. This is my first time using an ultra satin lip from Colourpop. My experience with Colourpop lipsticks have generally been negative because the ultra mattes are so matte that they dry my lips out. And me being someone who wears a lot of lipstick, doing lip art videos and lip art looks all the time, that was kind of bad news for me because my lips got so dry that they actually cracked, which hurt so bad. But this is really comfortable. I don't feel that dry feeling. It feels like a second skin on the lips. I really like it, and the color is really fun. And lastly, the highlighter. Now, I love the packaging. I think the packaging's adorable. This highlighter can go either way for me. I lean towards more sheer wet looking finish highlighters. Like the Stila Cushion highlighter is my jam. The Melt highlighters I absolutely love. Like real sheer, not heavy on the skin kind of highlighters are the ones that I lean towards. This is really pretty. It's a little bit more powdery than I would like, but when layered on top of like a cream, it made it show up a lot more than I think it would have without it. However, I don't know that. I didn't try it without the stick, so this could be really pretty on its own. I'm gonna give it another shot soon and find out, but I feel like I needed it to finish the whole look, so no regrets. Thank you so much for watching, and I've got some fun stuff coming in the mail this week, so I'm gonna hopefully be filming some tutorials with those, and I'll see you all later.